Hey folks, today I'm filming the mid-year freakout tag. I'd recently seen Ellie on Bippity Boppity Books do her video and I was like, okay, yeah, I want to do it too now. So that is what this video is about. I'm going to be honest, I haven't prepared at all. I probably will edit book pictures in. I don't have anything to hand. I do have my reading journal, so I might be like flipping through to spark inspiration to answer some of the questions, but I can't even remember the questions at this point. I've got a picture here, so it's going to kind of be what pulls out from my brain. So, without further ado, let's get started. Question 1 is, what is the best book you've read in 2023? Oh gosh, okay, so at the beginning of the year I did do kind of like a favourite book for each month, or a couple of favourite books, so I kind of fell off of that when February came around. I think I chose one book of that and then I just forgot to upkeep it, so I do need to go back through my reads and kind of add some more, and then I can maybe do like a favourite book roundup at the end of the year. But the first book that comes to mind right now is Babel by Rf Quang. I have a full review on this one. I recently read it, I think last month, with Shan Rereads, and absolutely adored it. It was fantastic. It was an excellent book. But some other books like that were earlier on in the year, I have The Coldest Touch by Isabel Sterling, The Secret of Crickley Hall by James Herbert, The Restless Dark by Erica Waters, Bitter by HardcoreCupcakeHailstorm, The Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Sue Tan Lin. And just another one that's popped into my head, definitely Wolf Song by TJ Klune. So quite a few books there, and I don't know what my most favourite has been so far. There has been some very strong contenders. The next question is, what is the best sequel you've read in 2023? Oh, okay, I'm definitely going to have to flick through my book now to see what sequels I actually have read. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it? Okay, so I quite enjoyed Beck by Darren Shan. This is the 4th book in the Demonata series, which when I read it I thought it was going to be the 4th and final book. I don't know what was in my head, but that apparently was the case. That was my truth. And then when I was reading it I realised it's a more extensive series than I had anticipated. So that one I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. I really did enjoy it, being back into that world. But also I guess I could say Bitter by HardcoreCupcakeHailstorm. I know I've already spoken about that for the first question. This one was a 5-star read, and it's set in the same world as Pet by the same author, obviously. It's a fascinating story. It's kind of like magical realism, social justice, social commentary, really amazing rep. We've got a trans girl, she's also mute, like selective mute. Just some amazing commentary in there, some really thought-provoking stuff. And Bitter is set within that world, so it's not like a direct sequel or anything. I would say probably more of a prequel if anything, but I guess it kind of fits that question. I'm flicking through and it doesn't really look like I've picked up many. It's so funny because the last couple of years my focus has definitely been on tackling my extensive series, and that always is kind of like at the back of my mind, but this year I think I've stopped hyperfixating on that so much and kind of just, you know, gravitated towards the books that I've been wanting to gravitate towards. Another book that comes to mind as I'm flicking through is The Sandman, Volume 6, Fables and Reflections. I feel like every other volume is kind of like a collection of short stories set in the universe, and I'm pretty sure this one was one of those, but I love that world. I feel like it always adds more to the characters, to depth to the stories when you do go back to the linear sort of prose. But yeah, that's another one. Let's get to the third question, which is, what is your favourite reread of 2023? I don't typically reread books, to be honest, so I don't think I actually have one here. Yeah, I haven't stumbled upon a book that I've decided to read again. It's just not something that I typically do, to be honest. Let's see. Number 4 is, what is a genre you have been loving and reading the most of 2023? I have discovered for myself, I know it's been around for a little while, but fallen in love with romantasy, which is romance fantasy. I found it's been a really nice transition into romance for me, which is something that I've never really enjoyed in the past. I am really enjoying like smut within the romantasy. I haven't kind of delved outside of that yet too much, but yeah, romantasy for me is where it's at. When the Kindle Stuff Your Shelf or Stuff Your Kindle Day came around, it's my first time hearing of it, and you know, getting books, a lot of those were romance fantasy. And I say romance fantasy because a lot of the ones that I've sort of stumbled on, definitely it's kind of romance and maybe political intrigue with a fantasy kind of afterthought, I would say, backdrop. Those have mainly been the ones so far that I've read. So yeah, that's a genre I've been really enjoying so far. Number 6 is, what is your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? Ooh, good question. Oh, I don't know. I'm really awful at keeping up to date with new releases and things like that. I rarely kind of properly look through. No, I can't really find anything. I'm literally just scouring my emails. Honestly, the one that I was really excited for at the time was Fractal Noise by Christopher Pliny, but that came out back in like May, I think it was, and I managed to get an ARC copy for that. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, as I say, I don't really keep up to date with new releases, so to speak. I don't go looking for them, so nothing really pops out at me. Elsa, your tail is like everywhere. Let's move that. Okay, number 7, what was your biggest disappointment? I do have a couple DNFs that I've had throughout the year. My most recent one was probably The Cleaner by Elizabeth Herman, which was kind of like an adult thriller. It seemed to go back and forth in timeline, but I wasn't gripped at all. I wasn't captivated. I talk a little bit more about that in my most recent wrap up, so if you want to know like the synopsis and stuff like that, feel free to check that out. Persuasion by Jane Austen. This was a buddy read that I read with Read a Book Gem, who's currently on hiatus from BookTube. I don't know if she has plans to come back or when, but we still do our buddy reads every now and then. So this one, I don't know, I wasn't as gripped as what I thought I would be. I actually, potentially a controversial opinion, I enjoyed the 2022 movie version of it much more, and I know a lot of people say, I can never remember a name because I don't watch Fleabag, but the actress from Fleabag-ified it. I don't know, I quite liked it. I felt like I could understand it better through the film. So yeah, that one I ended up giving a 2 out of 5 stars, and I was like disappointed that I couldn't really get into it. I ended up listening to the audio kind of quickly. I did a bit of blended reading, but I found that I wouldn't have been able to get through it just reading it physically, personally. Right, what question are we on now? Number 8, what was your biggest surprise? I'm gonna take that to mean as in like surprise, woohoo, I love, yay. Oh, let's go for the Bridge Kingdom series. I'm currently waiting for book 4. So I listened to them on Audible, but book 4 says it's coming soon and on May something, and it's been past that time, but it still won't let me listen to it. This one is one of those romantic genres that I've been really enjoying. I think all the books so far have generally been like a 3-star, 3.5 star, but I'm really enjoying like the political intrigue in them. I'm absolutely enjoying the tension between characters. I love the fact that it's an extensive series ongoing. Currently the 4th book has just come out, but each 2 books are like a different duology, so they're separate duologies within a wider world, like companion novels I guess you'd call them, and they're following like a different couple, and I'm really enjoying that aspect to it. Again, the political intrigue, the spicy scenes are really good, and that's when I kind of realised that I quite like that in books. It popped my cherry, so to speak. So yeah, the Bridge Kingdom series by Danielle L. Jensen, I've really been enjoying. What is your new favourite author? Oh, good question. I want to say, because I've literally in the last month read 2 comics by this author, I'm going to say James Tynion the 5th. I really don't know Roman numerals. He did Something is Killing the Children, and also a plethora of things, but the ones that I read recently is Something is Killing the Children and The Nice House on the Lake, and I really enjoyed both of those. So he's probably a new like comic writer that I'd probably keep an eye out for, and I've recently actually just purchased some more volumes of Something is Killing the Children on World of Books, so look out for a book haul at some point soon. I also want to say potentially TJ Klune. I am sort of on a mission doing like little reading vlogs, reading some of his like backlist stuff. So one of the videos that I brought out last month was a reading vlog dedicated to Wolfsong, and I think it's only like the second book I've read from him, but so far they've all been amazing. And I find they take me so long to get through, but they don't disappoint me so far. So I think my next read from him that I'm going to do a reading vlog for is the newest release, The Lives of Puppets. I managed to get an art copy of that, which was awesome, and there wasn't like a read by date or anything like that, but I do want to do a dedicated review / video on that, so I think a reading vlog is the way forward for that. So yeah, TJ Klune, definitely having fun exploring more of his work. What is a book that made you cry is question number 10. I think a few ones recently have actually. Saturday Night Ghost Club is one that I literally just finished today, and the last like 5% of that, I didn't cry, but I was close to, like, the emotion just hit me and it just came out of nowhere, and I was like, wow. It made me like speedily like go back into my mind and think of all these things like with a different like mindset now, knowing what I didn't know before, and I was like, whoa, okay, that's really cleverly done. But that was a really good one. That made me quite emotional. The Hive by Scarlet, Braid, another recent read. I read this at the end of June. Oh my god, that was intense. I had tears prickling. I don't think I again sobbed. I have to have really strong emotion to be able to cry from a book, but which is funny to say because I'm a very emotional person anyway. But no, The Hive was, I think some of the topics and the things that it discusses is deeper than maybe you'd imagine. Like the surface level, it seems a bit crazy, like a higher drama, thriller, action sort of thing, but really quite deep into it. It talks about so much like social media toxicity, the loss of a child like in pregnancy, in late stage pregnancy, infidelity. It's a lot, and it's really harrowing, but a really good read. So yeah, that made me a little bit prickly in the eye area. And the last one I'll mention, I know I've mentioned it a few times now, that is Babel by Rf Quang. I was just left speechless and my eyes were leaking. I could not control them. 11 is what is a book that made you happy? The first thing that comes to mind is Black Nerd Problems, essays by William Evans and Omar Holman. This was just, originally I went in thinking it would be a lighter read, but there are some really thought-provoking and heartfelt pieces in there. But it's basically a collection of essays from, you know, the black perspective of being a nerd, and there's some, you know, it's really specific niche commentary. Basically it's like anime commentary and just anything nerdy and geeky, but some of the reflections on it goes into social commentary and social justice. And can you, like, there was one essay where one of them was at a like expo, Comic-Con, and this guy came up to him and he was like, oh my god, look at this awesome sword. I forget which anime it was from, but it was like, oh my god, that's amazing, that's so cool. And he was like telling him where the shop was, yada yada yada. I think he was wearing the cosplay of where the guy with the sword had the sword from. Anyway, he went up to the shop and he's really considering it, and then he had to kind of hone into himself and think, okay, think of the times at the minute with a lot of police brutality going on in America. What is it going to look like with a black guy carrying this clearly obvious, non-sharp, non-lethal prop but weapon out into the car park? Is he even going to make it home? And that just really got to me. I was like, holy shit. And then there were moments where they were just goofing off and talking about like the legend of Korra, you know what I mean? Like, it was fantastic, and I felt so seen, so validated, and I loved it. Number 12 is what is the most beautiful book you bought this year? Oh my god, I'm not gonna lie, I do look out for really lovely covers, so I don't know, like I am a bit of a cover whore. Like, I like pretty books. Let me flick through and see what could stick out. We've Always Lived in the Castle. That is the Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition, and I think they are beautiful. I recently purchased that through Vinted, and yeah, I bought that this year, so I guess that can count. Number 13, what book do you need to read by the end of the year? I don't really need to read anything unless I'm obliged for like reviews and things like that. Trying to think. I have a couple on Book Sirens that I can't think, like, they're off the top of my head. One of them I'm reading at the minute. This isn't from Book Sirens, but the author reached out to me at the beginning of the year, I think. So I'm currently reading it. It's The Beckoning at the Gate by, bear with me just 1 second and I can find out, by Benjamin J. Ryan. And yeah, I didn't mean to put it off, you know, when other things with tight deadlines come up and you're like, oh, prioritise and all that. But yeah, this one I would like to definitely get to, which I am. I'm like halfway through now. So if you want a little bit of a blurb about this, here it is. The only life Santha Lethargian has ever known has become her prison. Vicious gossip is everywhere. Whispers of a scandal have turned to accusations of murder, and fingers are pointing her way. Feeling powerless and alone, she yearns for escape. When Santha stumbles upon a small rusted key in the forest near her home, it seems her silent pleas have been answered. Awakened by her touch, the key demands to be heard, and she is not the only one to heed its call. Thrust into a world only glimpsed in the stories of her childhood, of fairies and princes and eldritch magic, Santha sets out to unlock its secrets. But uncovering the truth has its own perils, and as the key's influence grows, she will be left with a choice, survival or sacrifice. But will it truly be hers to make? All the while, in the north, something ancient stirs, a great power that could unravel the very threads of existence. So it is kind of that classic trope of a quest, finding yourself, coming of age, but I love that we've got like a strong female main character. We've got some animal companions. So yeah, I'll give you my thoughts and more about it when I finish it, which will hopefully most likely be the end of this month. Coming up to the end now. Number 14 is, what is your favourite video that you've posted this year? I don't really know. I don't really like look at my videos like that, to be honest. Like, I don't really no, I'm gonna say maybe the one I've most enjoyed making. But I enjoy making all my videos, otherwise I wouldn't do it. Like, if you look at my views, you can see that I definitely don't do it for views, that's for sure. I don't know, you know. I'm just scrolling through them now. Oh, I really enjoyed talking, like, so I guess maybe book reviews, like dedicated book reviews. I really enjoyed talking about The Haunting of Alejandra by V. Castro. That was one of my Hear Our Voices book tour books. What other book? I enjoyed talking about The Mentor. That was another book tour book. This is by Lee Matthew. I guess, yeah, I've been enjoying doing dedicated single review videos. Another one was Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu, Fractal Noise by Christopher Collini. Yeah, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I've enjoyed all that sort of stuff. So I know they're the videos that I guess analytically don't typically do that well. I don't know why. I love watching book reviews, like dedicated reviews, but I don't know. I've enjoyed making them. I just feel like I can actually get into that headspace of full on like fangirling over something or ranting over something, and it's just, it feels like good to express myself in that way, I suppose. Okay, the last question, question 15, is what are your favourite book community members? Okay, so I definitely have a couple. Of course, Bippity Boppity Books I've really been enjoying. We met through a live that we co-hosted, or guest, I guess is the word, guested on, for Amy McCaw. Really enjoyed that. I think we did reading sprints and reading and motivation kind of to read or write, or whatever person's hobby was doing at that night. So it was lovely to meet her then, and I've enjoyed watching her videos since. Of course, Amy McCaw, absolutely love her channel. I love her personality. She's lovely. She does writing as well. She's an author. She has the Mina and the Undead series. I am really enjoying those books so far. There's 2 out so far. I don't know how long the series is going to go on for, but she also has like various short story collections where she's like, you know, with a load of other authors, and another one's coming out, I think is it October? It's coming relatively soon anyway. Who else? Sharon Joy Reid, she's on TikTok primarily, and also Instagram. She is a breath of fresh air. Every time I speak to her, it's just, my day gets brighter, my world just feels complete. I think I'm a little bit in love with her. Honestly, I'm a little bit in love with all my friends. I swear that's a quote I recently read somewhere, but I can't think where, but it is true. I'm a little bit in love with all my friends, and she is definitely one of those. She's just so lovely. She's got gorgeous radiant pink hair, and she's just so chirpy and happy, and she makes my day. Anyway, yeah, those are the ones that come to mind. Of course, there's so many other people that I absolutely enjoy in this book community, whether I'm more of like a silent watcher or we've got more of like a friendship going on. Everyone's just amazing. I do really love this community. So yeah, that is it for the mid-year freak out tag. If you've done this video yourself, let me know in the comments. I'd be happy to check it out. Equally so, if you just want to answer some of the questions yourself in the comments, feel free to do so as well. But for now, I shall catch you in another video soon. Bye!